Great news for us Tesla stockholders. Tesla China has officially launched its much anticipated Megafactory. The official signing ceremony for the land acquisition happened on Friday, with Tesla paying $31 million for the 48-acre plot of land, which is very near Tesla's Giga Shanghai factory. This is going to be a fast one, with construction beginning in Q1 of 2024. And you're not going to believe when production is planned. Just 9 months later in Q4. And here's the shocker. We're going to reveal how much revenue is expected and how many dollars per share just this one Megafactory will add to this Tesla stock price. We've got Hans Nelson joining us, and he has his own YouTube channel called Hans C. Nelson. Welcome, Hans.
Thanks for having me, Herbert.
Okay, so this is very exciting. This is something we've been waiting for a long time. It certainly has been delayed, but it's here now. So Tesla's new Megafactory in Shanghai is officially open. This was the launch ceremony that happened on Friday, and this is Grace Tao. You can see her there. She's a senior vice president of external affairs for Tesla, signing this agreement. Tesla paid $31 million for the 48-acre plot of land. The Megafactory is actually near Giga Shanghai's factory. And like I said earlier, it's scheduled to begin in Q1, production starting Q4. What's your thoughts on this, Hans?
So I think this is great news. Obviously, Tesla Energy has been a growing segment, and over time, Elon has said that energy is going to be bigger than the auto industry or the auto segment of Tesla's business. This is huge for a number of reasons. First of all, beyond just the earnings perspective that this gives Tesla, it's important for us to actually be able to utilize. We know that renewable energy, the generation cost, so whatever it costs to make a single kilowatt of energy, it's lower for solar and wind than it is for traditional technologies like coal and natural gas and hydro, potentially even nuclear. But the problem is, because these are intermittent sources of energy, you've got to figure out a way to store it. It's one of the only technologies, if you pump, oil out of the ground, you can always store that for use later. And we can't do that right now with renewable energies without having these batteries. And so this is a huge thing, obviously, overall for the grid to be able to move more towards renewable energies. And Lathrop has also, a 10,000 megapacks per year annual stated capacity. So this is looking at doubling Tesla's ability to deliver these megapacks. And so this is a huge production increase that they're looking at having there through Shanghai. And then we'll talk more here shortly about what the implications of a factory in Shanghai versus Lathrop are as well, for a couple of fun reasons.
Fun reasons and lucrative reasons. We'll talk about that. But this is the aerial photo taken just a few days ago. Shows the land allotted for Tesla's new Megafactory project in the Lingang new area of China. They call it the China Pilot Free Trade Zone. So this is they really are supporting, which is surprising to many people. They're always afraid that China is going to be, it's kind of like a scary place to do business. But actually, so far, China's been very welcoming, not only Tesla, but other organizations. So, this is Tao Lin. She's Grace Tao, just her name, vice president of Tesla. She said that the Megafactory is an important optimization of a company's global production layout. Do you know what that might mean? Because I don't understand what that means.
Well, so I can make some educated guesses. Currently, as far as we know, it's hard to know exactly what cells are being put into the megapacks that are being produced in Lathrop. At least historically, we know most of those have come from China. There's some question right now if they are using some of their 4680 production out of Texas to run the Megapack factory there in Lathrop. But you can imagine that it's much better in the long term for Tesla to produce batteries here in the United States for the Megapack factory in Lathrop, and then to use the cells that are being produced in China in a factory in China, for just localization of supply chain, a number of efficiency reasons. And also, when you throw in the IRA incentives, you want to actually use batteries manufactured in the United States in the Lathrop Megapack factory in order to maximize the amount of IRA incentive money that you can get. And so we don't really want to be bringing in those cells from China to make megapacks here. So being able to use them there is going to be just an optimization, both in efficiency and logistics, as well as maximizing revenues from the IRA.
Yeah. Okay, so some other points that they made here just this month as well. There's a report from the local media that Tesla's energy storage battery products will also be sold in China. So did you expect it to be sold? I mean, I assumed that it was all going to be sold in China, but are they going to export this to Europe?
I would anticipate, I think we've heard rumors of this, that the Chinese Megapack factory is the one that they're planning to do most of their global exports from, as well as
Mhm.
obviously they're going to sell them there in China. So just like Shanghai is currently the hub for European cars that are made outside of what the Gigafactory in Berlin can produce. I think the same will be true for the Megapack factory. And then we'll see, if it'll be interesting to find out if we see in additional Megapack factories announced for other countries, or if they just continue to grow the Shanghai Megapack factory. I would anticipate, just because of geopolitical concerns, that they don't want to over-index too much on Megapack factory expansion in Shanghai. But the question is, they can only do that if they're getting those batteries from non-Chinese cell suppliers. And so if the limiting factor, shout out to Jordan Giesecke, ends up being the cell supply coming from China, then we'll actually also see the expansion of Megapack factories being there in China as well.
Okay. So here's the fun part. AJ at ALOJOH, he's somebody we've been following recently because he's fantastic with his financial analysis and reports. He said that this Megapack factory in China is going to be $80 in share price, $20 billion in revenue, pre-tax earnings of $4 billion or $3.6 billion post-tax. At 70x of PE ratio, forward PE, that's going to be $252 billion in market value or $80 per share in a stock price. That is fantastic. Just this one Megapack factory. So in a year from now, instead of, let's say, $250 of stock price today, it's going to be at 330, just because of this Megapack factory. What's your thinking about this analysis here?
Yeah, I really appreciate his numbers and putting the math to it. One of the other things, just to kind of add on, is that I think the market will recognize this opportunity sooner for the Shanghai Megapack factory than it did for Lathrop, because obviously we've got some proof in the pudding from Lathrop, but also I expect revenues to grow faster from the Shanghai Megapack factory than we've seen from Lathrop. And this is for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think that we're going to be growing domestic cell supply that will be supplying the factory in Lathrop, just like we talked about earlier. And that will be displacing. And so the cells that are grown from here in the United States, those will go to US Megafactory. And the cells that they're displacing from China will get absorbed. And so the cells that are being made in China will actually get absorbed by that Shanghai China factory. And so it seems to me that the growth rate limiter for the deployments of megapacks is actually the cells. And so Shanghai is already being located in China. Their cell supply is growing faster than the United States. But then it will also be able to benefit from the growth in cell supply from the United States as well. And so I think it will ramp up production faster overall. But then additionally, I believe that at least for the megapacks that are sold in China, that the interconnect times are actually going to be lower. I'm highly doubt that the Chinese government is going to allow the same regulatory issues that we have here in the United States that are causing the times where you can, there's a whole process of applying and getting megapacks connected into the grid. That's what that interconnect process is. And it used to be that only took 2 years. Now it's kind of extending out to 4. And the more of these that are getting done, it seems like the longer those times are getting. I don't think the same thing is going to be true in China. And the reason that that's important is because there's a portion of the revenue that is tied to that interconnection. So you can't, even though you've sold these products, you can't recognize the revenue until they're interconnected into the grid. And in China, we won't see that. So I think the revenue recognition for the same number of deliveries of Megapacks in Shanghai will be much faster than it is here in the United States. And so, yeah, we'll see faster production ramp and faster revenue recognition off of that production ramp. And I just don't think that people are factoring those into account. And so we'll see that flow into the financials much sooner and at much higher volumes. And that will surprise to the upside, which will be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Exactly. So I think that Lathrop energy has been built into the stock price. And so few institutional analysts are actually talking about energy. But this, Shanghai Megapack factory has not been, in my opinion, built into the stock price yet. And this is now we got two. And look how fast this is, 9 months. Now it is Shanghai, it is China, so they're going to be faster than other places. But I also suspect that this is not going to be where we end, right? There's going to be multiple Megapack factories announced this year, 2024. What's your thinking about that?
Yeah, either, and like we said, it could be additional Megapack factories outside of China, or they could announce expansions. Either way, it would surprise me if we don't hear about something in Mexico as well. I mean, if they're having to ramp up a bunch of production for the next gen vehicle in Monterey, it kind of makes sense to also have a Megapack factory located somewhere close by and just continue to grow that overall production there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
right
then there's
now
any number of places around the world where you could also put them. So
yeah, I've been saying there's a reason why he's been holding hands and shaking hands with all the top world leaders. They all want a Megapack factory, and then they're just arranging the arrangement with the batteries. In this case, it's a partnership with CATL at first, and then Tesla will create their own batteries to support the Megapack factory. So this is great news, big news. I appreciate it. Any final thoughts about this? I mean, I truly am expecting at least 2 Megapack factories announced in 2024, in addition to this one that just announced here in the last month.
yeah, I think this is a huge part of Tesla's overall growth moving forward, and it's one that has taken a lot longer than people expected. But like Elon says, Tesla's a company that takes the impossible and turns it into merely late. And obviously, getting more clean energy, cleaning up the grid, that's an incredibly important piece of the overall transition to a sustainable energy future. And so I'm excited to see this continue to move ahead and for us to see this progress. And like we said, I think people are way discounting the overall financial impact that this is also going to have. So super exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Elon has warned that energy is going to be very lumpy. You can see rise and then falls, and it might take longer. But I also think that once you've had Lathrop and you've figured out how to make that happen, now that you're launching Shanghai, it could become faster and faster to create these Megapack factories. And then Elon did say also that he estimates that energy could be and will be the same size or even bigger than the auto industry. So
yep.
It's like it's amazing of a company here. We're talking Tesla. It's not just it's an auto company right now. In a few years, maybe 5-10 years, it's going to be the same. You're going to have auto and energy, both massive businesses, well on their way.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Hans. Follow him on his YouTube channel, Hans C. Nelson. Thanks, everybody. I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.